Write a Raptor algorithm to calculate the amount of time it will take to transmit a file over a network with a bandwidth of 3 megabits per second. Your program should ask the user for the file size in kilobytes, then output the number of time in seconds it would take to transmit the file. If the number entered by the user is less than or equal to 0, the output should be invalid input. To develop a solution for this problem, we remember our 4 steps. First, understand the problem. Next, design an algorithm. Then, implement an algorithm in Raptor. And finally, test the algorithm. Taking a closer look at the problem description, we see that we have one input, which should be the file size in kilobytes, and then one output, which is either the transmit time or invalid input if the user's input was less than or equal to 0. Designing our algorithm, we know that we need to start by getting an input from the user. If the input is less than or equal to 0, we'll output invalid input. If the output is greater than 0, then we'll output the time to transmit the file in seconds. We'll call the user's input file size kilobytes, which will help us remember the user's input units. Let's take a closer look at how we'll calculate the time to transmit the file. We'll start with the user's input of file size, which is in kilobytes, and we'll divide that by the bandwidth of 3 megabits per second. Now we want to convert everything into common units, so we'll start by converting our megabits into megabytes, which is 8 megabits for 1 megabyte. Then we'll convert megabytes into kilobytes, 1 megabyte for 1024 kilobytes. Doing this, all of our units cancel except for our unit of time in seconds. Therefore, our transmit time is equal to the file size in kilobytes times 8 divided by the quantity 3 times 1024. Having designed our algorithm, we are now ready to implement it in Raptor. We'll start by adding an input symbol. We will prompt the user for a file size in kilobytes. We'll store his input in a variable called file size kilobytes. Then we'll add a selection where we check to see if the file size is less than or equal to 0. If it is, we'll output invalid input. If it is not, we'll calculate our transmit time, which is equal to the file size in kilobytes times 8 divided by the quantity 3 times 1024. Finally, we'll output the transmit time. Now we're ready to test our algorithm using various inputs. We'll start with a positive input of 1024, and we get 2.667 as expected. Next, we'll try a larger positive input of 512,000. We get our expected result of 1,333 1/3. For our next input, let's try 0, and we expect to receive invalid input. And finally, we'll try a negative input. We'll use negative 15,000, where we expect to receive invalid input. With our algorithm passing all of our test cases, we're ready to test it against the server. And now we verified that our algorithm passing all 4 of the test server's test cases, we can conclude that our algorithm is correct.